I was born into the LDS faith, or as they like to say now, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I received the Aaronic priesthood, which you are bestowed when you're in your teens, and then I dropped out before I received the Melchizedek priesthood. I left because I am a homosexual male and it's not copacetic with their faith. I know that they think that same-sex attraction is sort of like a challenge or a trial and tribulation, something to be conquered. And for me, it was a way of life and the way that I love. So it was not compatible with that tenet, and I decided I didn't want to have anything to do with it. Growing up, you're indoctrinated into it. From a very young age, I was told this is the true religion. This is what happens to you after you die. This is what happens to you when you sin, all that kind of stuff. So for me, it was more of a clean break. I knew I was gay when I was probably in my early teens. I knew something was different about me. And then when I went to college, I had my first sexual experience and I was like, yeah, not going to go back. And I didn't. There was many culminating events. Growing up, I had a very good friend who committed suicide because he was gay. This friend and I grew up together in junior high, and he was bullied as I was, and I was bullied by people in my faith, boys of my age that were LDS that were just mean. After that, I just kind of did my own thing and I just didn't go back anymore. And I got into drugs and alcohol when I went to college. I went ape shit when I went to college, and that's kind of where I hit a bottom, and I started to go to AA, and the idea of having a higher power that was unique to you was really beautiful. So I decided to craft and reach out to a power that wasn't of that faith, and it's been helping me for many years now. It changes, it evolves, but I like to think of it as it's not me and it's not human and it's greater than myself and it can solve all my problems if I reach out and ask for guidance. I broke off from the church, and as a way of deconstructing, I kind of went a whole 180. The LDS faith is considered an Abrahamic faith, and I went full goddess mode. I identify myself as a pagan, and I identify myself as a practicing witch. Luckily, my family treated me the same. My family loves me. My mom, my dad, even my cousins, I don't know what they say behind closed doors, but whenever they were in my presence or I in theirs, whenever we went to family functions, I was really lucky. They loved me. It's kind of interesting because where I grew up, it was very cliquey. So you were either a part of the culture and the religion, or you were not dealt with at all. So I guess I really didn't notice if I was shunned. For the people that made fun of me in junior high and high school, or those people that were mean, I really didn't want to have anything to do with them. So I have a partner who's in recovery with me, and I've been with him for 13 years now. And I also found in the pagan community a lot of like-minded individuals. There's a sense of community there. It's very nice, especially in Salt Lake. Paganism for me is a sense of spirituality. It's animistic. Everything has a spirit. Everything should be respected. The earth, plant life, animal life. It's not necessarily based on the worship of one particular entity or energy. In my paganistic beliefs, I can actually even use my ancestors who were LDS to kind of help me. And I don't worship them. It's not ancestral veneration per se, but I do work with them. Sometimes I'll reach out to the ancestors that have passed away for information or for a sense of healing. Sometimes I'll reach out just to commune with them and say thanks and just be with them. There are certain seasonal times when that is something that I do, like during what you would consider Halloween, or In my idea of religion, it's something that is agreed upon within a community, like worshiping one particular deity or worshiping one set of deities, like a pantheon, with their own rituals. And I would say that like Wicca is a religion, but for me, as just a traditional witch, I would say it's not a religion, it's more of a spirituality. There are some Abrahamic faiths that are more accepting to the LGBTQ community. I thought about joining that because it took me a really long time to get away from the old man in the sky or the man in white in the sky that was looking down upon me. And every time that I thought about that, even in a religious faith that was more open to me being a gay man, I couldn't get away from it. And it all just kept on coming back to this judgmental man in the sky. It gives me serenity. It gives me a spirituality that I can rely on and a faith that I can rely on in hard times. Recently, I've been dealing with a physical ailment that has really kind of questioned whether or not there even is a higher power out there at all. It is, I think, a question of faith where I have to rely on something bigger than me, and whatever the outcome is, as long as I take the right actions or any actions in the direction I want to go, then I'm going to be taken care of. So I pray, just like I did when I was a Mormon, but not to Heavenly Father. I pray to the deity that I have chosen to work with. Her name is Hecate, and it's been pretty cool. There is a little bit of ritual involved, and I get to get creative and use my own prose. The LDS faith, the members and the patriarchy, those leaders truly believe what they believe. And I don't think that anything that I could ever say would ever change their mind, nor would I want that. I think everyone's entitled to believe what they believe based on the information that I receive. I call it unverified personal gnosis, or UPG. I believe we go back to the source that created us. I believe, for me, that everything has a spirit. So this body, when it is gone, when it doesn't work anymore, the spirit goes back to its source. And I hope, I don't believe, but I hope that I have a choice as to what happens to me, whether I reincarnate, whether I choose to be obliterated, whether I choose the kind of heaven, if there is a heaven. So I do believe that there is something else that happens after this life. I work with spirits, so I have to believe, but I'm not exactly sure what that looks like.